This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
I'm Temple Grandin. I am professor of animal science at Colorado State University. And first thing you need to do in working with livestock is you have to calm down. And when you calm down, there's a whole lot more things that you can learn. It takes animals 30 minutes to calm down if they've gotten excited. People need to be a good observer. What are your cattle looking at? Which way are their ears going? Maybe you need to get rid of all the vehicles that are parked along the fences that are scaring the animal. Get rid of the chains hanging down, the coats on the fences. Also, there's research now that shows if you take the young heifers and work them through the corrals, it's going to make them easier to work in the future. But it's important to give them a reward in the corral of something really tasty. So it's worth their while to get caught in a squeeze chute. Well, one layout mistake that you don't want to make is you got to make sure that when your animal stands at the entrance to your single file chute, you can see at least two body lengths down it. If you bend it wrong at the junction between the crowd pen, regardless of the design you have, it's laid out wrong at that junction, it will really mess up your facility. They have got to see a place to go. And there's lots of stuff that's laid out wrong. Little tubs that sort of just go like that don't work very well. If you're going to use a tub, it should really go around in a half circle and take advantage of the natural tendency of going back to where they come from. A lot of bud boxes are laid out wrong. And you need to be using any kind of a crowd pen as a passing through pen. Don't store cattle in there because they're all going to turn around and want to go back to where they're coming from. You want to have them pass through the crowd pen and fill up the single file. So wait until you have space in the single file so you can bring the cattle up there and just bring them on around and they go on in. And use that following behavior. Big mistake that people make when they're working cattle is to put too many cattle in the crowd pen. And this mistake happens regardless of crowd pen design. Fill it half full. I mean, the best thing is whatever you put in the crowd pen fits in the single file. But you want to have a single file that's long enough so you can get some following behavior. Maybe holding a minimum of 4 cows. You don't want something too long. But if you store cattle in a crowd pen, they turn around on you because they always want to go back to where they come from. Good handling is going to require more walking to bring up small bunches. In some facilities, that's going to be 3 adult cows, a very small amount. Maybe another facility, you can bring up 6 adult cows. You need to figure out what works well and stick with it. Putting too many animals in a crowd pen is the #1 mistake that people make because they don't want to do the walking to bring up those smaller groups. It's important that an animal's first experience with something new like the corrals be a good first experience. Take the young heifers, just walk them through, and then give them some feed rewards in the corrals. I was just talking to a rancher that says, oh, well, they went back to their bunks and ate. But that's their bunks. That's not the corrals. We want them to associate the corrals with something good, and so you bring them out and give them a little bit of treat right there in the corral. I'm at the Department of Animal Science at Colorado State University. And there's contact information on the Animal Science website. And I also have lots of information on Grandin.com, just my last name. And I've got a new book called Temple Grandin's Guide to Working with Farm Animals. And it's got lots of designs that are really good for rented land, made with portable facilities, much simpler designs. Because another thing that's happened is a lot of cattle today, especially breeds such as Angus cattle, we've been doing a lot of temperament selection. So some of the cattle we have today, they're not as wild as the cattle we had 20 years ago. And they're going to work a lot better in simpler facilities than some of the cattle that I had when we first started.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide. Presented by Lucas Oil. Featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV, the all-new Better Horses Network.